As Motsi listened, her heart heavy with the weight of the revelation, she realized the truth that had been staring her in the face all along. The disappearance of Adiz, her childhood friend, the strange occurrences that plagued the village, all were connected to the sins of her ancestors, sins that she received the burden of carrying. Once upon a time, in a small seaside village called Kaimu, where the salty scent of the ocean danced with the breeze, life flowed as steady as the waves crashing against the shore. Houses with roofs colored like the sea stretched along narrow streets, and fishermen mending their nets while children played in the sand. Among these villagers lived Motsi, a young woman with a spirit as wild as the waves themselves. With hair like the sun's rays and eyes as deep as the ocean, she moved around the village with a sense of curiosity that matched the endless horizon. One fateful evening, the sky grew dark, and the air became heavy with the promise of a storm. Clouds gathered like an army on the horizon, their shadows swallowing the fading light. The villagers hurried to secure their homes and boats, knowing the unpredictable nature of the sea. As the first drops of rain began to fall, the wind howled like a restless spirit, and the sea rose in protest. Waves crashed against the shore with a force that shook the very foundations of Kaimu. Thunder roared in the distance, and lightning split the sky, illuminating the chaos below. Amidst the fury of the storm, Motsi found herself caught in the turmoil, her hair whipped by the wind and her clothes soaked through. With every step, she struggled against the relentless onslaught of rain and wind, seeking shelter from the storm's wrath. But as she battled against nature's fury, something strange caught her eye, a figure amidst the churning waters, barely visible through the rain and mist. For a fleeting moment, it seemed to beckon to her, its form shifting like the shadows cast by the storm. Yet, in the midst of chaos, Motsi dismissed it as a trick of the storm, a figment of her imagination conjured by fear and uncertainty. With a shake of her head, she pushed forward, determined to weather the storm and emerge unscathed. Little did she know, this encounter would set into motion events that would change the course of her life forever. But for now, as the storm raged on, Motsi could only cling to hope and pray for the safety of her village and its inhabitants. Our wonderful people, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first to experience the thrill of our next story. As the storm's fury finally stopped, leaving behind a village battered and bruised, Kaimu struggled to regain its footing. Broken boats trashed the shoreline, and homes destroyed, their walls bearing scars of the tempest's wrath. But amidst the wreckage, something darker lingered, a sense of unease that clung to the air like mist. In the days following the storm, strange occurrences plagued the village. Fishermen returned from their expeditions empty-handed, their nets torn and their catch scarce. Children whispered stories of strange songs heard across the water at night, while mothers feared to let their little ones stray too close to the shore. Among those touched by misfortune was Motsi's childhood friend, Adiz. One morning, she failed to appear at the marketplace where she sold her father's freshly caught fish. Concerned whispers spread through the village like wildfire as neighbors searched high and low for any sign of the missing girl. As the hours turned into days with no trace of Adiz, fear began to grip Kaimu like a vice. Rumors swirled through the streets, whispered in hushed tones behind closed doors. Some claimed that Adiz had fallen victim to the wrath of a vengeful mermaid, angered by the storm's disruption of her domain. Others laughed at such tales, dismissing them as the product of overactive imaginations and superstition. But as the days passed and Adiz remained missing, even the staunchest skeptics couldn't help but feel a shiver of doubt. For Motsi, the disappearance of her friend was a blow that struck deep to the core. Memories of their childhood laughter and shared adventures flooded her mind, driving her to search tirelessly for any clue that might lead to Adiz's whereabouts. Yet, as she searched the beaches, Motsi couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister lurked beneath the surface, a sense of evil that threatened to invade Kaimu in its shadow. Little did she know, the storm had unleashed more than just destruction upon the village. It had awakened ancient forces long forgotten, forces that hungered for vengeance and would stop at nothing to reclaim what they believed was rightfully theirs. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the troubled waters, Kaimu braced itself for the horrors yet to come. As Kaimu struggled with the mystery of Adi's disappearance and the looming threat of the mermaid's curse, Motsi found herself drawn deeper into the heart of the storm. But amidst the chaos, a glimmer of understanding began to emerge, a revelation that would shake the very foundation of her world. It started with a whispered conversation overheard between her parents one midnight. Motsi, restless and unable to sleep, had crept from her bed to seek solace in the comforting embrace of the sea breeze. But what she heard would shatter the illusion of safety that she had clung to for so long. In hushed tones, her parents spoke of a secret buried deep within the archives of their family history, a legacy of forbidden love and broken promises that stretched back generations. They spoke of a time when her ancestors had crossed paths with the mermaid who dwelled beneath the waves, forging a bond that was meant to unite their two worlds in harmony. But as the years passed and memories faded, so too did the fragile truce that had once existed between land and sea. Betrayal and greed poisoned the hearts of men, leading to a rift that could never be healed. And in their rage, they cursed the descendants of those who had wronged them, condemning them to suffer the same fate that had befallen their kin. As Motsi listened, her heart heavy with the weight of this revelation, she realized the truth that had been staring her in the face all along. The disappearance of Adiz, the strange occurrences that plagued the village, all were connected to the sins of her ancestors, sins that she received the burden of carrying. With newfound determination burning in her veins, Motsi vowed to uncover the truth behind the curse that had plagued her family for generations. Armed with nothing but her wits and the knowledge passed down through the ages, she set out to confront the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. But as she delved deeper into the secrets of the sea, Motsi would soon discover that some truths were better left buried, and that the price of redemption might be higher than she ever dared to imagine. With the weight of her family's secrets heavy upon her shoulders, Motsi knew that she couldn't sit idly by while the curse continued to wreak havoc upon Kaimu. Determination burned in her heart like a beacon, guiding her towards a path of redemption and resolution. Gathering what little courage she possessed, Motsi embarked on a perilous journey to confront the source of the village's troubles, the vengeful mermaid who had unleashed her wrath upon the land. With each step, she felt the weight of responsibility pressing down upon her, urging her forward even as fear threatened to consume her. But Motsi was not alone in her quest. Along the way, she was joined by Kwame, an elder whose wisdom surpassed his years. With eyes that held the knowledge of ages past and a voice that resonated with the echoes of forgotten rituals, Kwame offered his guidance to the young woman as they journeyed towards the heart of the storm. Together, Motsi and Kwame braved treacherous terrain and faced challenges that tested the very limits of their resolve. Through dense forests and across raging rivers, they pressed onwards, driven by a shared desire to save their village and find Adiz before it was too late. As they traveled, Kwame shared with Motsi the ancient rituals and incantations that had been passed down through generations, a legacy of wisdom and reverence for the spirits that dwelled in the world around them. With each word spoken and each gesture made, Motsi felt a sense of connection to something greater than herself, a bond that strengthened her resolve and fueled her determination to succeed. But as they drew closer to their destination, the air grew heavy with anticipation, and a sense of foreboding hung over them like a dark cloud. For they knew that the path ahead would not be easy, and that the mermaid they sought to confront was a force to be reckoned with. Yet, with Kwame's wisdom to guide her and the fire of determination burning bright within her heart, Motsi pressed onwards, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead in her quest for redemption. For she knew that the fate of her village and the life of her dear friend depended on her success. Subscribe, share this insightful video. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together and keep our Africa folktale adventure going. As Motsi and Kwame ventured deeper into the heart of the storm, the air thickened with an eerie tension that seemed to cling to their skin like a damp fog. The trees around them twisted and groaned in the wind, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers grasping for escape. But there was no turning back now, for they had reached the cursed waters where the mermaid, Nala, held sway. As they approached the rocky shore, the water churned with a ferocity that sent waves crashing against the jagged rocks, and amidst the spray and foam, Nala emerged, a vision of beauty and wrath, her hair like spun silver and her eyes burning with a fire that could not be quenched. With a voice that echoed through the storm, Nala revealed the truth behind her anger, a tale of betrayal and injustice inflicted upon her by Motsi's ancestors. She spoke of promises broken and bonds shattered, of lives lost and hearts left to wither in the depths of the ocean. As Motsi listened, his heart heavy with guilt, he knew that he could no longer ignore the sins of his family's past. With Kwame's guidance, he found the courage to step forward and confront Nala, pleading for forgiveness and offering restitution for the wrongs that had been committed in his family's name. With each word spoken, Motsi felt the weight of centuries of pain and suffering lift from his shoulders, replaced by a sense of clarity and purpose. He vowed to do everything in his power to make amends, to heal the wounds of the past and forge a new future where land and sea could coexist in harmony once more. And as he extended his hand in friendship to Nala, a smile flickered across her lips, a smile that spoke of forgiveness and redemption, and of a bond forged in the crucible of adversity. With the storm finally subsiding and the curse lifted from the waters, Motsi and Kwame returned to Kaimu as heroes, their hearts filled with gratitude for the chance to make things right. And as they looked out across the tranquil sea, they knew that although the journey had been long and arduous, it had been worth it, for in confronting the darkness that lurked within, they had found the light that would guide them towards a brighter tomorrow. With the curse of the African waters lifted and harmony restored between land and sea, Kaimu basked in a newfound sense of peace and prosperity. The village thrived once more, its streets bustling with laughter and life as fishermen returned from their expeditions with bountiful catches, and children played along the sandy shores without fear. But amidst the joyous celebrations, the tale of the mermaid's revenge lingered like a haunting melody, a reminder of the importance of acknowledging past wrongs and seeking redemption. For the curse of the African waters had taught the villagers a valuable lesson, one that would echo through the generations to come. It taught them that forgiveness and empathy were the keys to healing even the deepest wounds, and that by extending a hand of friendship to those who had been wronged, they could build bridges that spanned the vast expanse of the ocean itself. And so, the people of Kaimu vowed to live in harmony with the natural world, respecting the creatures that dwelled within its depths and honoring the bonds that connected them to the land and sea. If you're hungry for more intriguing stories, check out our next video. Click here.